Well, well. Good evening. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I hope that you can. I hope that you are well. And welcome to this little live chat. We're going to talk about some. We get the shitty stuff out the way. Well, maybe a bit later, but we're going to talk about some stuff that's been going on in the world. You know, the world, but not the world as a negative. The world as a bit of a positive. We're going to talk about some movies. We're going to talk about some theme parks. We're going to talk about this, that, the other. Get involved in the chat if you want to, and if there's stuff you would like to talk about, then please let me know. I'm open to chatting with you guys about whatever you would like. Show will probably run for about an hour. I was contemplating doing music, but as we know, as we are well aware, if I do, I get ad revenue removed from me. I get copyright struck. So if people want music, you have to help me out there and mitigate it with a donation at paypal.me/wheeliebricks, which is in the pinned comment. And if you don't, fair enough. We will crack on regardless. Hello there, Natalie C. Hello there, Chasing Descent. Hello there to the lurkers. I see you watching. Where shall we start then? Should we start with a bit of movie news? I'm just going to be very careful, by the way, with how I'm tapping, because my connections in my computer are a little bit iffy at the moment. So I'm going to tap very, very carefully, because there has been some news in the world of horror movies. And I'll bring you to this article here from Variety. Hello there, Shalini. I see you and Mr. V. I might have to do some wiggling around on the fly here, but just to make this look a bit better. So here's what I'm going to do. So, it's happening, people. Bugger off, Variety advert. I don't want to subscribe. Scream 7. Yes, there are now 7 of these movies. Neve Campbell is returning for Scream 7, which means that they have paid her what she wanted. If you've seen the Scream films, if you're a fan of the Scream films, you will know that Neve Campbell, the star of the Scream franchise, undoubtedly the star of the Scream franchise, did not return for number 6. And the only reason she didn't return for number 6 is because she asked for a boatload of money, and they were like, nah. So let's go through this article. I hope this interests you. It interests me anyway. I mean, even in her older age, she's still looking quite good, isn't she, Neve Campbell? After sitting out Scream 6 over a salary dispute, franchise star Neve Campbell has announced her return in the upcoming 7th movie. Sidney Prescott is coming back, Campbell posted on Instagram Tuesday. It's always been such a blast and an honour to get to play Sidney in the Scream movies. My appreciation for these films and for what they have meant to me has never waned until they didn't pay you the money that they wanted you. Anyway, I'm very happy and proud to say I've been asked in the most respectful way to bring back Sidney to the screen, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Along with Campbell's return, Scream creator and writer Kevin Williamson is taking over as director of Scream 7. He wrote the first, second, and fourth Scream movies, in addition to executive producing the 2022 reboot Scream and its sequel, Scream 6. Now, I don't actually agree that those newer movies, 6 and 7, are reboots. I think anybody saying that they're reboots doesn't understand what they are. Yes, they've sort of updated them for the modern era. But they are clearly direct sequels. I mean, number 6 very much stars the original trio alongside the new trio, who are probably not going to be in the 7th movie, but it stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette. It references the events of previous movies. It is a sequel. It is not a reboot. They tried to go down the meta reboot route, saying with the killer, spoiler alert for Scream or Scream 5 or whatever you want to call it, the main villain played by Jack Quaid, the Scream Killer, and his girlfriend, wanted to make a reboot movie. So they wanted to make their own Scream movie, or Stab movie, because, man, those movies get confusing, because there are movies inside movies in those movies. But yeah. Natalie says, we watched the original Scream film just last weekend with my teenage kids. I mean, they are good movies. All right, they are good movies. There's no getting around it. There's no getting past it. These are good, fun flicks. And I think there's not really a weak one among the bunch. They are what they are. They've got a formula. They pretty much stick to the formula. They tried to break the mold a little bit in Scream 6. Like, the first 2 acts are really quite different. But then it gets to the 3rd act and it just falls back into line, back to formula. You know how it is. But no, I would say if you really want to look for a weak Scream movie, maybe number 4. But I know people love that movie. I like it, but to me, it's the worst of the bunch. But, you know, people are free to disagree. But yeah, we are on 7 of these things now. 7! Isn't it? That whole Strictly Come Dancing crap. 7! And don't forget, guys, if you could, please hit the like button and share this out. And like I said, it doesn't have to just be these sorts of things we talk about. We can talk about anything you want, as long as it's not politics or news or any of that crap, because I just don't want it here. Okay? And I know that comes off as, you know, almost pretentious even. I just don't want it here, because this is a place for us to enjoy ourselves for a little bit. Now, I'll get on to quickly something a little bit personal, little problem that I've been going through. So last night at 9:45. Okay, so let me preface this by saying I am not a wealthy person. Okay, in any sense of the word, I am, in fact, what you would call working class poor. Okay, and sometimes, whilst bills do get paid, sometimes those bills have to be paid a few days later because we simply don't have the money in the bank. So we've got Sky TV. Well, I say we've got. We've got Sky TV, and the bill was due, I think, about 5 days ago. And I know that I can pay it this coming Saturday. I couldn't pay it at the time because, you know, life gets in the way. But I know I could pay it this coming Saturday, and they were aware of when we were going to pay it. And my son is autistic, like me, and he uses certain things to be able to switch off. There's certain programs that he puts on which actually put him to sleep, which switch him off. So it gets to 9:45 p.m. last night, and everything stops working. And I mean everything. It can't even go on an app, can't even go on like a YouTube or a Disney Plus or something that we actually pay separate for. Can't use them at all. They've cut us off. And then not only have they cut us off, they've turned around to us and said, well, if you want it switched back on, you have to pay the bill that you owe and next month's bill in advance. Give us £140 or you're not getting anything switched back on. I've been a loyal Sky customer for over 10 years. And I know I'm moaning a bit, but it really pisses me off. We couldn't pay it. We can't pay it. My son had a meltdown and sat on the couch all night until this morning crying. But, you know, their call centres aren't open at that time of night, and I'm not able to sort it out. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind. It's been a bit of a piss take, shall we say. So I'm a little bit, you know, I'm just a little bit pissed off. However, we shall move past that because there is absolutely nothing I can do about it, and we will try and do something going forward. We had an old Amazon Fire Stick. We found a Fire Stick, and we've put it in his television, and we are hoping that something can be put on. I don't know if it's working yet, but I just don't know. Okay, but hopefully something. But this experience has really, really jaded me with Sky. And it's like, do I even want to, when it comes to having the ability, do I even want to pay you any money? Do I even want to switch you back on? If that's how you treat a loyal customer of over 10 years. I don't think I do. if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think it's time to just move to streaming and watching what we want on demand completely, because it's 9:45 p.m. They just cut you off. They didn't even send me an email. They didn't send me a message or anything like that. Just switched it off. They knew when I was going to pay as well. And it's got to the point where, like, I just have to think, is it an expense that I don't actually need anymore? And considering the financial circumstances that we find ourselves in, perhaps, I mean, I'm not going to be treated like that. Shalini says, nope, got a Chromecast and that's it. I think I don't want to be treated like that. And I don't think that my kids should have to go through that. Anyway, like I said, moving on. Oh, look, I've got a mobile live dashboard, which means I guess people are watching. There's at least one person watching on Twitch. Hello, person watching on Twitch. I hope you are well. See, yeah, we're on multiple platforms right now, people. Multiple platforms. So yeah, anyway, I can't pay that until Saturday, and then when it gets to Saturday, I don't think I'm going to. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think I'm going to, because if that's how they treat you, when they know that you're struggling, and we are struggling, then I don't think I want to do any kind of business with someone or something like that. I just don't. That's just me. Anywho, back to a little story I want to cover from Variety as well. And this is interesting to me because this is, if you guys have Disney Plus, well, if you are old enough to remember the 1990s, if you're old enough to remember the 1990s, some of the single best cartoons, when it comes to superheroes especially, were on the TV in the 1990s. Who remembers the 90s Batman series? That was brilliant. The 90s Spider-Man series, the 90s X-Men series. Everybody remembers that music. Anyway, they're bringing it back. X-Men 97, and they're continuing where the 97 series left off. However, there's a lot of talk in the background of non-binary this and all of that. I don't really want to go down that road, but I'll go down this road. X-Men 97 creator Beau DeMaio fired ahead of Disney Plus series premiere. So it's premiering in like a week or two. And they fired the showrunner. This is interesting to me. So Beau DeMaio, the showrunner and executive producer behind Disney Plus's upcoming animated series X-Men 97, has been fired ahead of the March 20th premiere. That's 7 days from at the time of us doing this stream. Variety has confirmed. Now, when it comes to the idea of WOKE, Shalini, it shouldn't be if it's continuing directly on from the 97 series, because they didn't care about any of that back then. But difference between shouldn't be and is, we'll see. So DeMaio had completed work on seasons 1 and 2 of X-Men 97 ahead of his exit. He will not attend the March 13th Hollywood premiere for the show, which is today. His Instagram account, on which he had been previewing artwork and answering fan questions about X-Men 97, has also been deleted. What has this guy done? He wrote and produced X-Men 97, which is a continuation of the popular X-Men the Animated Series that aired on Fox Kids in the 90s. It is unclear why DeMaio was fired from X-Men 97 so close to the premiere, but he will no longer promote the show or be involved with future seasons. That is really interesting to me. You've created 2 seasons of this. You've become a showrunner, head writer. You've seen it from beginning to end, and then 1 week before the premiere of your show, you are summarily fired, and you start deleting your social media. What has this guy done? Obviously something, and I don't mean that to be mean, He's obviously done something, because you don't start going into sort of overkill, overdrive, hiding mode unless there's something in that closet. A skeleton, if you will. Or maybe, perhaps, there is a bunch of, let's just say, progressive ideology that's been shoehorned in to the new show. And Disney, who are currently, for lack of a better word, shitting their pants over the current state of their business, are starting to purge such ideology. Because those of you who don't know, Disney is currently in the middle of what's called a proxy fight, or a proxy war. So Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, and the board, their positions are in danger currently, because there is one of the single largest investors, a man by the name of Nelson Peltz, who runs a sort of investment fund called Trian. They own billions and billions and billions of dollars of Disney stock. They're vying for board seats. They want to oust the current CEO. They're vying for board seats, and they've started an organization called Restore the Magic. In fact, if you give me just 2 seconds, we'll go to restorethemagic.com. I think that's the website. Yeah. So, here we go. Restore the Magic at the Disney company, at the Walt Disney Company. This is Trian. Nelson Peltz fighting for all Disney shareholders. I might have to rearrange this. But anyway, this website, you can go and look at it for yourself. Okay, this website, restorethemagic.com, is Nelson Peltz's jab at the current state of Disney, because the current state of Disney is actually losing Nelson Peltz as a large shareholder money. He's losing money. So are all the other shareholders. So he wants to kick in gear, and he wants to take over, essentially. And he wants to put Disney back on a path to profitability, an extreme profitability. And one of the ways of doing that he and his group have identified is to purge this ideological nonsense from it. Nelson has a chance to get 2 board seats coming up in just a few weeks' time. And they're going to have an investors meeting. And at that investors meeting, people get to vote. Shareholders get to vote for whether or not Nelson, and I think the other guy's name is Jay Rasulo, get seats on that board. And I tell you what, if they do, you're going to see massive changes at the Walt Disney Company. They're going to be thick. They're going to be fast. And Nelson Peltz wants to, as he says, restore the magic. And that means returning the company to a place where it was trusted. And by that, I mean, even when we were growing up, you know, our parents trusted the Walt Disney Company to put out something that was family friendly, that was fantastic, that was going to be enjoyed. I mean, the 90s itself was the Disney decade, where they put out a load of classics that just kept getting hit after hit after hit after hit, where they expanded their theme parks like never before. I mean, they opened Disneyland Paris, they opened Disney's Animal Kingdom, they expanded the Tokyo Disney Resort, they expanded all of the other resorts, California Adventure Park. All of this stuff happened in the 90s as they were really pushing. And do you know what? Obviously, they're profit first. Every company is. But what they were doing was pushing for family-friendly entertainment and to be the trusted name in family entertainment. And they were. They absolutely were the trusted name in family entertainment. And unfortunately, Bob Iger got his claws into the company after Michael Eisner was essentially forced out as CEO. Bob Iger got his claws into the company, and as time went on, ideology bled its way in. And this ideology has been nothing but poison for the shareholders, for the public, for people that work for the company. Now, let's not mistake this for saying I don't believe in equality, because I absolutely do. I absolutely believe in equality, but the ideologies that are being permeated, when you actually break them down to their core, they're the antithesis of equality. They're not equality. Anyway, that little rant is over, I guess. I'm going to go to the chat now. Come on, guys. What have we got here? Okay. They're talking about steak. They are talking about steak, and I must admit, I am jealous. I am jealous of the steak. I would like some steak. But, you know, as a working class poor man, I can't bloody afford the steak. Speaking of... Okay. You know how we go with this channel? It's a lot of reviewing stuff. We review theme parks. We review hotels. We review films. We review American snacks and drinks and many other things. And also, the biggest and most passionate part of this channel for me is that we are trying to build the single most comprehensive accessibility guide to theme parks, resorts, hotels, and travel anywhere on the internet. That is the long-term dream. That is the long-term goal. As a disabled person myself, I want to make sure that we are the place to come. If you are a disabled person and you are unsure whether or not you will be able to access a certain thing or go to a certain place, now that's a lot of work, and it costs a lot of money. And it really does cost a lot of money. And that's why we're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to grow it rapidly. Because the more we grow it, the more we can potentially earn, the more we can put back into it, and the more we can have fun whilst helping people. That's what we really want to do. There are many ways that you can help. Hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, hitting that share button are obviously the immediate ways that are completely free. And the other way that you can help is by clicking that join button. There's a little join button. It says join on the profile, and you become a member of this channel from just 99 pence a month. 99 pence a month, $2.99 a month, or $7.99 a month. The choice is yours. And then with that membership comes a bi-weekly, every two weeks, members only stream, just like we're doing here. But it's a bit more fun. It's a bit less formal. We break, you know, I do music because it's for the people that are paying a membership. So I forego the ad revenue. I don't really care about that for that show. But yeah, it's really, really decent. It's a good time. And the next one is actually not this coming Sunday, the Sunday after. So week Sunday, because we just had one this Saturday past. I think. Did we have one this Saturday past? Yeah, we did. So I can't do a week Saturday because we are otherwise engaged. But a week Sunday will be the next members only live stream. And yeah, I'll do music on any live stream as long as I can mitigate the demonetization, because it's annoying. It is annoying at the end of the day. You're trying to entertain people and then they come along and they go, no, you can't earn any money. No, you're not allowed. Can't earn any money. Nope, not here. Not you. The backing track you've used might have been made by somebody else. Despite the fact that you're the one pouring your heart, soul, body and mind into the performance. But then again, we're up against it here because John's just done a review of Godzilla -1. That's actually going to come out on this channel hopefully tonight. Hopefully it's coming out tonight. But I saw he uploaded it and I got a notification and it said video is blocked. Video is blocked. Copyrighted content has been detected in your video. Godzilla -color review. No, call it Godzilla -1 review, John. As a result, your video has been blocked and can no longer be played on YouTube. This is not a copyright strike and does not affect your channel. Round 2 with my video of Chrissy and the treats is going to be when we can next afford to top them up to a respectable level. However, me and Chrissy are looking to go out and film on the seafront a video together. Going on the pier, looking around the seafront, having a bit of a laugh. We're going to film another video together, hopefully this week. Won't be able to do it tomorrow. Might be able to do it Friday morning. It's all weather dependent. So, oh, John says, no, it's been uploaded and green across the board. That is what I like to see. That is what I like to hear. But yeah, call it Godzilla -1 review, because if you call it Godzilla minus color review, the algorithm's just not going to like it. It's not going to put it out. It's not a slight against you. So yeah, John has reviewed Godzilla -1. And to get back to what I was talking about when it comes to, you know, disability and things like that on this channel, my friend Lisa, many of you will know who she is, and some of you will not know who she is. But my friend Lisa is currently at the Disneyland Paris resort, my favourite place to be, as you guys know. But she's there. She travelled there this morning. She stayed in a hotel just next to King's Cross, St Pancras last night. Got the Eurostar over this morning. And is currently making content for The Real Review as she does her trip. Content that she has made so far: a room tour of the hotel at King's Cross, so showing people where you can stay the night before getting a Eurostar and what you get for the price. I'm being sent all the raw footage and then I'm creating the vlogs and then I will put them out. She has shot a room tour at the Hotel Cheyenne over at Disneyland Paris, and she's got to get some establishing shots of the actual amazing Wild West town that is the hotel as well. But once she's got all that, that'll be dumped in the drive, sent to me as well. She's going to be filming the new daytime parade / show, A Million Splashes of Colour. She's filming the Main Street Electrical Sky Parade for us, which is a show made of drones. She's made a little short for me, actually, that she's put in the drive. I believe she is shooting an accessibility guide for people who are disabled who want to get the Eurostar to Disneyland Paris. So she is showing the systems that you go through and how you access it and stuff like that as a disabled person, going through the Eurostar terminal, where you go, things like that. In addition to that, she has agreed to shoot some shop tours as well. So we're going to have a look around some of the shops. I've told her to film in the Lego store, but we'll see. And yeah, she's just gonna absolutely flood me with content over the next few days. I mean, if I was with her, because usually I do travel to the resort with her, money just could not allow it. And for the last 6 years, I have been a Disneyland Paris annual pass holder. Now, when I got my first one, it was like 220 euros for the year, and then it went up. It ended up, my last one that I purchased in January of 2023 cost 400 euros. And then when it got to renewal time this January, that had risen from 400 to 800 euros. And I turned around and I said, nah, not doing that. Even if I wanted to do that, I can't, because there's no way I could afford it. So they're pricing us out. And not only that, all the benefits that came along with it, like 90% of them have been wiped out. So you're paying double the price and getting less than half of the benefits. And do you know what? People are paying it. They're actually paying it. It's insane, isn't it? They're bloody paying it. I can't. There's just no way I could pay for something like that. Ridiculous. But if you can get a nice package break to the resort, and there are plenty of them available, you know, 1 or 2 nights free and stuff like that include all of your tickets and stuff like that, I would recommend going. But then again, they're still building the world of Frozen. Let me show you. I might have to redo my screen in just a minute, because I'm gonna go somewhere over here. because they are building Arendelle, the Kingdom of Frozen, as we speak. So here we go. This here is the Kingdom of Arendelle when it was, I believe, under construction in Hong Kong. Because they built it first in Hong Kong. So they're currently building it in Paris, and they're a little bit further behind in Paris. Some of the buildings' roofs are starting to peak above the construction walls there, as you can see. But here you can see they're a little bit further along in some of these places. But the Kingdom of Arendelle was meant to be open for the Olympics. The Olympics are in like 4 months. This is not happening. It will not be open for the Olympics. I mean, it's not even half done. I don't think this is opening in 2025, personally speaking. If they get this open in 2025, I will be shocked. That's the one thing about Disney. They started this before Universal started constructing an entire theme park called Epic Universe over in Orlando, Florida. And Epic Universe, in my opinion, will be fully built and fully open before the Kingdom of Arendelle receives one guest. And all of this construction to house one single ride called Frozen Ever After. And Frozen Ever After is a clone of a 40-year-old log flume ride that you can go and ride at Epcot in the United States, in Orlando, Florida, right now. To say that this is embarrassing, I think at this point would be an understatement. I think it would be an extreme understatement. This is 5+ years in the making. And to the left of this land was meant to stand a mini version of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which got completely cancelled and is now an empty plot of land. We've got an event coming up in a few months called D23, where Disney come on stage and they tell you the big announcements about what's coming, and we reckon that they'll announce that it's either a Lion King or an Avatar land that's going to replace what was meant to be Star Wars. However, when's that going to get built? When's that going to open? All of this was meant to be completed, all of it, by 2025. It's not happening. This is not going to be completed by 2025. And then, before they know it, their focus is going to have to shift to the third park. Because Disneyland Paris have a contractual obligation with the French government to build a third theme park. They have to build it. Now, they have, in recent years, managed to push that back to when they have to build it by. But now it's 2036. And put it this way. If it's going to take them 5 to 7 years to build a single land, how long is it going to take them to build an entire goddamn theme park? And they have to build it. It's going to go on the other side of the resort. I know where the plot of land for it is. And in fact, the land that they have been clearing to build this frozen land, they've built a big old berm along the site of the third theme park. And a berm is a big old mound of land that blocks the view of the main road. So the main road can't see in and people within the area can't see out. Now, if they're building that berm, that tells me they are focusing already on that site, which means that third gate is going to come. Well, it is going to come. It has to come. The contractual obligation with the French government. The reason the second theme park exists, Walt Disney Studios, and the fact that it opened as a state, I wouldn't have even called it a theme park when it first opened, but the fact it even exists, contractual obligation with the French government. They had to build something, so they built something. What they built was one of the biggest pieces of crap you'll ever see in your life, But now it's one of my favourite theme parks because they have spent 20 odd years fixing it. And in fact, this Frozen Land right here, this is in that park. This is in the second gate. This isn't in the main Disneyland park. This is Walt Disney Studios. But it is what it is. Now, on to something a little bit different. So in about a week's time, just over a week maybe, I will be receiving a copy of the brand new South Park game on PS5, South Park Snow Day. And the plan is to live stream South Park Snow Day to you guys through this channel, me playing it. We'll have some laughs, we'll have some quips. It's not going to make any bloody money because, let's face it, that will be copyrighted. But it won't be struck, it will just be claimed because people play games on here live all the time. But that should be fun. In fact, I might do a couple of test streams with the earlier South Park games in the next few days. I don't know. It just depends what time allows for me at the end of the day. So that should be a lot of fun. That should be a lot of fun. You know, Shalina, you're right in the chat there. It's very, very slow. Very slow. But, okay, with all that negativity out of the way, the reality of the situation is that, like, people ask me, they say, Ben, why do you go to Disneyland so much? It's evil. The corporation's evil. Well, listen to me when I tell you this. That place is one of the single most beautiful and heavily themed places on the planet. You can go there and you can lose yourself in immersion. You can go there and slip into a reality that isn't real. And do you know what? As an autistic person, as a person whose mind never switches off, I call it my happy place. Because when everything gets too much, when everything gets too stressful, and I can afford it, I say I can afford it because my wonderful friend Lisa usually pays for most of the trip and I just drive. I appreciate that woman a lot, by the way. But you can go there, or I can go there, and just for a few days. It's like the world outside of that doesn't exist. And it just mentally centers and resets me. And it's my, you know, outside of being with my wife and children, it is my favorite physical place to be. And I don't care if people don't like the company or don't like the corporation or don't like what it goes down, because people have different likes and loves and desires and wants and needs and things like that. And you can criticize me for it all you like. I don't care. I just do not care. What I do care about is that people are able to access the things that they love in order to have a good time, safe time, a happy time, fun time. And that brings me back round to why this channel exists. This channel exists to bring some joy, to bring some fun, to bring some accessibility. And with that, I don't think this stream needs to be any longer than it is right now. So if you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Just give it a thumbs up. If you are considering helping us out further, you can join the channel from just 99p a month. And it will help. Every penny will roll back in to creating these accessibility guides, creating this fun, creating these vlogs, creating these reviews. Or if you want to give a direct donation, you can do it in the pin chat, paypal.me/wheeliebricks. And anything that's chucked that way will probably go towards this monumental bloody sky bill. Fantastic. But I'm not ending this on a downer. There's going to be more like this coming. I just wanted to do this out of the blue. I just wanted to have a little chat, see how everybody was. John's video on the channel right now, a review of Godzilla -1. When you've finished here, if it's live, I don't know if it is, but if it is, go and give it a watch. Go and give it some love. give it a like, give it a comment. And once again, if you want to become a channel member, then in a week Sunday, there will be a members only channel stream. We'll do some music. We'll have some fun. We'll bring down the house, as they say. But on that note, thank you for watching this one. I'll speak to you again in the next one.